everyone, Dan Groninger here for Waygate Technologies, and today I'd like to bring you another installment in our series on the USM 100. This time we're going to be taking a look at the auto angle calibration. So it's a good way to check the angle of a wedge for a shear wave inspection. I've already gone through and set up the probe delay and material velocity using our 2-point calibration. And now we'd like to check the angle of the wedge. So I have a DSC block here for reference. The DSC block gives us a 1/8 inch diameter side drilled hole, 3/4 of an inch deep in the block. And then it also conveniently gives us some reference index marks here at 45, 60, and 70 degrees with respect to that hole. So it helps us set up a little bit for this test. So let's open our calibration menu. You can see a couple of key parameters here. One is the side drilled hole diameter. I have already set that to 1/8 of an inch to match the block and 3/4 of an inch deep. Our gate starting at 0.7 inches. And we're going to use the A scan as the source for our peak measurement in the gate. So we're going to do that first. Come in here. So if I come over to this index mark, there's our 1 inch radius. If I slide back to the 45-degree marks, I can peek up on that side drilled hole. I need to slide forward and backwards to find the exact peak. And that can be a little fidgety, you know, for those of you who have done this calibration many times on other instruments, other blocks, you know, it's a little fidgety scrubbing your probe around. But once you found your location, your peak, go ahead and hit cal. And it calibrated, and it's determined that based on that echo that we showed it, our angle is 43.8 degrees. Okay. Now, as we mentioned, finding that the exact peak location is a little fidgety with the probe. So let's make it easier. Let's go to our A-scan menu, and we're going to come down here and we're going to turn envelope mode on. Okay. What envelope does, you notice the A-scan now is red on the screen. And as I put my probe down and move around, our peaks draw a sort of another trace in red. Our live A scan is in yellow. I can use that to assist me in finding where I have actually peaked up that probe. Okay. So now if I go back, I can close the menu. I've got that turned on. If I go to my calibration menu, and first thing we're going to do is clear our previous calibration. So I use this icon on the command bar that looks like a squeegee clearing a plate. When I touched that, it asked me, do I really want to clear the auto angle calibration? And I said yes. So that took me back to the default angle that I had dialed in for this wedge at the beginning. I told the instrument I had a 45-degree wedge, so it goes back to the 45-degree default. Now, I've got I can change my angle calibration source from A-scan to envelope. And by doing that, I've told it that rather than gating on the live echo, what I want it to gate on is this envelope peak that I've found. So now I can come in here, let's start our calibration, and it says record the indication and press calibrate. So what it's doing is giving me an opportunity to record where my peak is. Okay, I do that, bring my gate over that peak, I hit cal, and 43 degrees. So 43.791 degrees. And that matches up pretty closely with what we had before when we peeked up on the manually and then held the probe still while we did the calibration. So one more time we can clear the calibration. Okay, we've cleared our envelope. I start my calibration. Come in here, I find my peak. Okay. Bring this over, I can do an auto 80, get my amplitude up a little more, find the most sensitive place. Okay. Take that away, hit cal again, 43.791. So there we go, just that quick and easy. Two different methods for doing an auto angle calibration on my wedge, on my angle beam wedge. In one, we used just the live A scan, peaked it up manually, held it still while we did our calibration. For the other, made use of the envelope mode, start recording our calibration, peak it up with the envelope on. At that point, I can let go of the probe, set it aside, put my gate over the peaked up echo, hit the cal button one more time, and we have our angle measurement. So that's it for auto angle calibration. Thank you for joining me. As always, if you have any questions, please reach out to remoteservice@bakerhughes.com. We're looking forward to answering your questions and giving you any help that you need. Thank you.